Watch this video and learn the 3 reasons why native speakers don't understand you and how to change that. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thanks for joining me on another video. I appreciate you coming back. But if it's your first time here, yes! Thank you so much. I hope I can help you with this lesson. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. The first reason native speakers don't understand it is accent and pronunciation. Yes, guys. Why? Because strong accents may confuse native speakers, okay? Many students study listening, grammar, writing, but they don't focus on pronunciation and accent reduction. Consequently, when they travel abroad or when they have an opportunity to talk to a native speaker, it gets a little hard for the native speakers to understand you because the truth is you are not practicing how to reduce your accent, how to improve your pronunciation. The most common problems are to stress the wrong syllables to pronounce, to stress the wrong syllables, mispronounce words, vowel sounds, consonant sounds, to stress the sentences incorrectly. The intonation is wrong. I don't know if it's a question or if it's an affirmative based on the intonation because you don't have a clear intonation. And all of these things together will make it very difficult for native speakers to understand you. Now, what do you need to do to change that? Accent and pronunciation exercise needs to be on the top of your priority list if you are having problems, if native speakers are having problems to understand you, okay? Think about it. Actors do accent reduction lessons or improve their accent. I'm a teacher, but I'm always doing accent and pronunciation exercises because I want to be clear. I want to make sure that people understand me. So this is a continuous exercise. Now imagine if you have never done it, okay? So make sure to do pronunciation and accent reduction exercises to help you become a clear English speaker, okay? Awesome! Number 2, the reason why native speakers don't understand you or are having problems to understand you is because your vocabulary and your grammar are not on point. Now, when I say that, please keep in mind that making mistakes is alright, okay? I'm not saying that you have to stop making mistakes. No, you will continue making mistakes. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. The problem is when those mistakes stop you, okay? There are some mistakes that will confuse native speakers and will stop conversation. And what are they? The first one that comes to mind is tense conjugation. If you are having a conversation and you're constantly changing the tenses, present, past, future, present, past, past, present, you will confuse any speaker, not just native speakers. It'll be difficult to understand your story if you're not clear with the tense. So this is a past story? Is this a present story? The speaker may be a little confused. This can and will stop native speakers from understanding you. One thing that I also noticed, using the wrong words, before and after. Many students confuse that. So if you confuse this in a conversation using before or using after, the native speaker will have a very difficult time understanding what you have to say. So make sure that you're very careful with the words you choose, that you really know what they mean, because they can confuse people. That's why I said vocabulary and grammar, because it's not just grammar that stops conversation, but vocabulary. And most of the times it's not because you don't know a word, it's because you think you know the meaning of that word. You think you know how to use that word, but you don't. So make sure that you work on that before you're having a conversation, because these things combined can do a terrible damage to your conversation with a native speaker, okay? Now, what do you need to do to improve your grammar and vocabulary? When talking about grammar, the first thing you need to have is a clear understanding of the basic tenses: past, present, future. You need to understand these basic lessons, present, past, future, because they stop conversations all the time. So it's a basic lesson, okay? Learning the tenses is a very basic lesson, but if you haven't mastered yet, no problems, but you need to dedicate more time to studying it, okay? Actually, for my students, I make it like a routine to study these tenses because they are so important and they stop conversations. So make sure that you study them on a continuous basis, okay? Now, vocabulary, same thing, but I would recommend studying vocabulary that is connected to things you like to talk about, okay? Because if you just sit down and study vocabulary, man, that's gonna take a long time because vocabulary is so general. So what kind of vocabulary do you want to study or do you need to study? That's a good way to start, okay? And the number 3 reason why native speakers don't understand you, especially if you are from Spanish-speaking countries or if your country's language come from Latin, okay? False friends. What is a false friend? A false friend is a word that you believe has a meaning, but it doesn't. It means something completely different from what you think it is. This is what we call false friends. And this, my friend, can stop conversations. It can make people very confused. I am a non-native speaker and I know a lot about false friends. And sometimes when my students use them with me, I get confused. I need a minute or two to be like, oh, you're trying to say that? I'm a teacher. Now, imagine a native speaker. They can have many problems if you're using false friends and if you're using the wrong words. It's very similar to problem number 2 of vocabulary, but here it's very specific. It's about false friends, words that you believe mean something, but they don't. They look like something. The spelling makes you think they are something. Now, what can you do? Study false friends, okay? There are many lists on the internet that you can download and read more about, because the truth is there are many false friends. So start small, then go big. You don't need to download a list with 100 false friends. Download a small list and start becoming familiar with that list. That's the best way for you to improve your knowledge of false friends and start changing this, okay? Breaking this habit, all right? Very nice. Now I have a bonus for you because I'm a cool teacher, huh? Killer reason why native speakers don't understand you. Why did I make this to the end? Because only the true followers watch until the end. So if you are a true follower, write in the description, hashtag true follower, because I'm watching until the end. So hashtag true follower, okay? And the killer reason why native speakers don't understand you is you are trying to explain things how you would explain them in your language. Yes, if you are doing that, it doesn't matter if you're having grammar problems, vocabulary problems, intonation problems. The problem is how you structure the things to explain to native speakers. And if you are doing that, thinking of your language, people will not understand you, okay? So you need to let go of this mentality of explaining things how you would explain them in your language. That's when I talk about translation and how they stop conversation. That's what I'm trying to show you when I make these videos about translation. This is the impact of translation when we are communicating in English. It's not that you're just translating words all the time, but you're doing that automatically when you are communicating with someone in English. Okay, what do you need to do? Well, I don't have a short cake recipe to share with you. It's a process, okay? If you realize that you're doing this, and I know many of you are, okay? I receive your emails. You are my true follower, remember? So I get your emails. I see that you guys do that. So it's a process. Writing can help you, okay? Writing can help you a lot if you make this kind of mistake, okay? Writing and listening, watching things can help you, but especially writing, because you speak what you write. It doesn't matter. If people tell me, oh, teacher, I'm an excellent writer, but I'm a terrible speaker. No. Chances are that in 90% of the cases, maybe even more, if you write well, you speak well. If you don't write well, you don't speak well. And when I say writing well, I'm not saying about having a good range of vocabulary, creativity, imagination. No, I'm talking about the structure. I'm talking about explaining things in writing, okay? So if you have problems to explain things in writing, you will have the same problems to explain in speaking. Because imagine, when you're writing, you have time to think. So if you're having problems already to write, this is the same problem you have in speaking. That's why I'm always saying that everything is connected. And if you're not doing one, you're not improving the other, okay? So this is the killer reason why native speakers don't understand you. Improving that takes time and dedication and a lot of writing. Very nice, guys! I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this information useful, share it with your friends. It helps the channel grow and more people will improve their English. Thank you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye!